definitely want to know the history of the house that you choose. You know, if there's been some deaths in the house, some fires, natural disasters, if it was a trap house, a brothel back in the day, you want to know. You want to know these things. Know what kind of house you're taking on. Hey y'all, thank you so much for tuning in to the second part of our Millennial Success Bylaws series, number 9, Buying a House. We've discussed all of the key factors to consider when you first start thinking about buying a house and how to get that process started. And we left off on the dream team. Now, the dream team is going to be all the key players that are going to help you get this house and make sure that it is up to code and the best house for yourself. So let's just jump right in. Number 5, research the key players. Google everyone. Google everyone. Google everyone. Know the role that they play in this process and hold them accountable to properly fulfill it. Okay? Know who they are, know their reputations, know what they're capable of, hold them accountable. Make sure that none of them are friends outside of work. They may know each other due to being in the same industry, but they should definitely have no personal interest involved in any of this. It shouldn't be, my best friend is a real estate agent, I'm an inspector, I'm going to get you put on too. No. They can know each other for being in the same industry. That's likely they've ran into each other before. That's likely that if they've both been in the game 10 plus years, they've seen each other, they've worked together. But nobody needs to be in each other's pocket. Nobody needs to be buddy, helping each other out, letting each other slide on these jobs. Do your job, do it well, move on. So if you've got to check out their social medias just to make sure that they're not out here fraternizing with each other, then you just need to do that. Don't let these people play you, because they can and they will. So let's get into the main person on your team. If you decided to get one and not do it alone, your real estate agent. Make sure that your real estate agent is legitimate, dependable, and trustworthy. Although you also want to ensure that a full-time realtor with at least 2 years of working experience has worked with clients of your taste and interest before. If they're familiar with who you are, what you like, it'll be easier for them to find homes that best suit you. Be sure that they are experienced in selling and buying homes in a market that you are interested in as well. Again, the seller normally pays for the commission of your realtor, but this realtor should also want to protect your interests and try to meet your requirements to the best of their abilities. And their job is really to just guide you through the process from beginning to end. Kind of be your guardian angel, if you will. But they're also responsible for negotiating a price and overseeing that the home inspections take place accordingly along with you. They should keep the other key players in check as well. They will relay messages to the seller's realtor and work out any problems that you all may have along this journey. And they must have really great communication skills. Because again, this person is going to be negotiating a home buying contracts on your behalf. They got to know what you want, how you want it, and when you want it. And they have to properly relay these messages to all the key necessary people, i.e. the seller's real estate agent. And that's an issue I had. My real estate agent failed me. She didn't even tell them what I wanted when we were in a renegotiation process prior to closing. But that's a whole nother story. Make sure in writing that you have what you want, how you want it, and how soon do you want it done. And make sure that your realtor has sent that information over. You want to see how many homes this real estate agent is selling on an annual basis and what their customer service satisfaction rates are. So when you're Googling this person, when you're seeing if they're still certified by the state and by the board and that they actually have a license, which if you've done your research, you're already on top of that. You want to see, are people happy? Were they lied to? Were they well taken care of? But check that out. So your second key player in your dream team of buying a home is going to be your lender. Now, your lender can be the bank or credit union. But you need to know the difference between a mortgage lender versus a mortgage broker. Now, mortgage brokers work on the customer's behalf to seek out different banking institutions to find the bank to get the mortgage which best fits the customer's needs. But brokers do not have the ability to approve the loan. They have to seek out a lender that can do so. Whereas your mortgage lenders actually specialize in creating home loans, and most of them are affiliated with banks. They work with the customer through banking institutions or credit loans. They also work with retail and wholesale divisions via large banks and credit unions. Shop around for the best offers that suit you though. See, different lenders shop around for different banks for different rates. And the mortgage market changes daily, kind of like the stock market. So with all these different changes, you just want to stay aware of that, stay abreast of that, and strike when the iron is hot. When those stars are lined up for you with that right interest rate, go ahead and do what's best for you. But your lender should also be a reputable, well-known, trustworthy creditor that's in good standing. We talked about this before. We talked about this, about getting a loan. We talked about buying a house. Make sure that people are in good standing. They're not going through bankruptcy. There's no pending mergers and acquisitions that could possibly negatively impact you getting your loan. They should also be experienced in offering home loans / mortgages. It shouldn't just be somebody that normally specializes in selling cars or personal loans and they've never done anything with a house. Make sure that they offer you the proper necessary services that you were looking for. And see if they have a high customer satisfaction rate or not. And see and check out the year, because they might have been doing great for people in 2016, but it's 2018, almost 2019. You want to make sure that they are still making people happy and that they're proactive when it comes to solving problems. Find the best trustworthy lenders that you can find in your area. And one of the most important and easiest ways to do this is word of mouth. Ask around, ask homeowners, ask people who have a house or who have had a house, and get referrals. See what people are saying about these people. Are you happy with this bank or this institution? Did they do you right? Have you had any issues? Ask around. I'm telling you, people will tell you their business if you ask, or they'll volunteer. If you're buying a home, I had all types of people telling me everything. Don't do this, don't do that. People volunteer information because they're knowledgeable and they'll feel comfortable. Ask around. Word of mouth is a great way to learn. Your third dream team key player is going to be your home inspector. Now, as of 2018, the average cost for a home inspector start around $200 and up, depending on the square footage, depending on the condo, the townhouse, or the standalone home. This home inspector must be reputable, and they must do a thorough search inside and outside of the house. Make sure that they're paying major attention to detail. Make sure that they are not letting anything slide. I don't care if edges need to be caulked. Anything that is not up to par, up to your liking, when you hire them, because you can interview them too. Interview everybody. Don't just pick on the first person somebody says. Research them, talk to them, let them know what you want. This person can't let anything slide. I don't care how small it is. It might be small to you, but it might be big to somebody else. You're the one that has to pay them this money. So make sure that you're getting your money's worth. They should also inspect for lead paints, radon, wood-eating pests such as termites, any types of water, fire damage, foundation problems, roof damage, mold, improper insulation, plumbing problems, faulty wiring, leaning trees in the back of the yard, the front of the yard that may fall and hit the top of the roof, or any other dangers to living in a home. They have to report all of that, because you don't need surprises once you move in. You need to be aware of what's going on prior to you sliding your money over to that seller. And if any major repairs or lots of repairs are needed, the inspector's findings can be used to negotiate a lower price. So if you realize that this venture is going to cost you a lot more money than anticipated, and your inspector has seen some issues that need to be addressed, go ahead and use that findings to try to talk down that overall price before the closing is final. That can help you out in the long run. And that home inspector should also get access to all the detailed records of previous improvements or repairs done in the house. You can do that as well. But you also want to make sure that all the current warranties on services and appliance, that you have access to them. If this house is about to be turned over to you, and if you're going to keep that dishwasher that was in the house when you bought it, then you're going to need a warranty on that dishwasher. Because now it's your dishwasher now, and you need to know what was fixed on it, what wasn't, and how long ago was it fixed. It was just kind of like a Carfax. Remember, it showed you the history of repairs, what has already been repaired, how long ago that was. You also need that same type of history for the home that you're about to take on. The fourth person in your dream team is going to be the appraiser. Make sure that your appraiser is professional. And professional qualified real estate appraisers should be licensed in all 50 states and familiar with the properties in the area that they represent. They must be completely unbiased and have no direct or indirect interest in a transaction and must abide by all federal guidelines. They must also be certified to appraise similar properties such as the one you are interested in buying and be qualified for the overall job. So they need to be able to come in without it having any dog in the fight, basically. Again, remember, nobody should be knowing each other like that. Nobody should be friends with one another in this process. Business is business. They should not be homies down at the pool hall together. Okay? Unbiased, licensed, professional, reputable. All right? So let's move on. Now that you know who your dream team key players are, it's time for number 6. Be proactive during the house search. Search online, search in person, take virtual tours of the home, take physical and real life tours of the home. Look at these homes in and out before you decide which one you want. When searching for homes online, make sure that you look at the reviews and the statistics of that house. See if the previous homeowners, even from 10 years ago, had anything to say about it. You don't want any surprises. You want to know what's going on and you want to be in the know. When you view the home, make sure that you view the home when it rains. So you can check for any roof leaks, any window leaks. See how water from the natural elements impacts this house. You can also roll a quarter or a marble across the floors to make sure that they're even, or if there are any sunken holes somewhere in the floor. Sometimes it's going to be hard to do if they have furniture, but if it's an empty house tour, you can see that with no problem. Check to see if the plumbing, when you run the water, works right or not. Turn the water on and off if they haven't cut it off. Some homes don't have the water on anymore because it's vacant, but if that water's still running, check it. Check that water pressure, see how long it takes for the hot water to turn on. Just check it out. And if the lights are still on or not, flip the switches on. Are they coming on? Are they flickering? I mean, if they have light bulbs, you need to just small stuff that you can do on your own without having had a professional come in right away. Check it out. Ensure that the doors and locks are capable of opening and closing. Make sure that they're not broken or need any type of repairs. And make sure they're not stuck. Make sure that they're not broken, they're not stuck. Because if they are, that's going to cause you to have additional repairs done. More money just adding on up out the window. You can always take a trip down to City Hall. You can see if this house that you're interested in has any liens on it. Any zoning issues, any potential easements, or any other restrictions that the house is subject to. Check all that out prior to the purchase. Take on no problems now. Don't take on no problems. You definitely want to know the history of the house that you choose. If there's been some deaths in the house, some fires, natural disasters, if it was a trap house, a brothel back in the day, you want to know. You want to know these things. Know what kind of house you're taking on. If you're spirit sensitive and people have died in that house, you might want to know that. People, different strokes, different folks. Man, I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to help you get your house, okay? Number 7. Now that you figured out what you wanted, you got everything lined up, the dream team is all in a cohesive unit and systems a go. Now it's time for you to make an offer and to negotiate the contract. So prepare for a bidding war, but don't get discouraged if one does happen. I was in the middle of that as well, and I kind of upped the ante. There's a few things you can do to outbid or get one up on the competition, if you will. So when that does happen, just speak to your realtor and you guys can figure out an approach. You are ready. Your realtor will go ahead and submit the offer through an official letter, and they're going to send it to the seller's realtor. Be prepared for a counter offer by the seller. Decide whether or not compromising is beneficial for you. So basically, when the seller gets your offer, they might want to do a counter offer. Hey, what about this? Could you pay more of this? They might want to go ahead and see if they can make any alterations and see if you guys can come to a different type of agreement. Do what's best for you. Do what's best for you. Don't feel like you have to go ahead and do what they say just because it's a counter offer has presented itself. Talk it over with your realtor. Don't be afraid to move on when necessary. But also on another note, if your offer is accepted, then you will have to put down some earnest money, aka a cash deposit. And that goes towards the down payment to show how serious the offer is at the time that the offer is made. It is usually 1.5% of the offer, circa 2018, going into 2019. Be sure that the offer has a home inspection contingency as well, which will permit you to get a formal home inspection and to decline the offer within a reasonable amount of time if the home does not pass the home inspection. So if it's not up to your standards, you can always take your money back with no problems and just move on to the next crib. All right. So we have moved on through this quite fast, I must say. If you want to know what part 3 is to our 9th installment of Millennial Success Bylaws series, you're going to have to click on part 3 to this video where we're going to go on and talking about the home inspections, the appraisal processes, and the final steps of buying a home. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure that your notification bells are turned on, that you are already subscribed, and that you are going to get these videos in the sequence that they drop. You can know when these videos are dropping, and if you're in the journey of buying a house, you're going to get all 3 of these, and it's going to be part of your research before you move forward. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to see you on part 3 of our 9th installment right here on Shonae's Law, and I'll see you guys soon.